Selamat malam sahabat Dhamma, Suki Hontu, Namo Buddhaya. Mari kita berikan penghormatan kepada Sayadaw Paññadhikālaṅkāra dan Bante Uttaranyana dengan bersikap anjali dan membukukan badan sebanyak 3 kali. Penghormatan dimulai. Berjumpa kembali di kelas Abhidhamma bersama Sayadaw Paññadhikālaṅkāra dan diterjemahkan oleh Bante Uttaranyana. Sahabat Dhamma, mari kita bersikap hormat dan penuh perhatian selama mengikuti kelas Abhidhamma. Wandami Sayadaw, we would like to invite Sayadaw to kindly start the Abhidhamma class.
Okay, let's start our Abhidhamma class. Reciting Namo Tassa 3 times together.
Mari kita memulai kelas Abhidhamma dengan membacakan Namo Tassa 3 kali bersama-sama.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Okay. But last week we have studied about the unwholesome consciousness. So, how many unwholesome consciousness?
12.
Akusala citta, how many?
Ya, minggu lalu kita sudah membahas mengenai kesadaran akusala, kesadaran tidak bajik. Berapa banyak kesadaran yang tidak bajik? Saya mau bertanya.
Ya. Only 12, right? Only 12. Among the 89 consciousness. Among the 89 consciousness, akusala is only 12. It means not akusala. The others are not akusala. But most of the times, only 12 akusala can arise in their living being's mind.
Ya, jadi di antara 89 jenis kesadaran, ini kesadaran yang tidak bajik hanya ada 12. Nah, jadi yang lainnya itu bukan akusala. Jadi yang akusala hanya 12 dari 89 jenis kesadaran. Yang lainnya bukan akusala. Nah, tapi di banyak kesempatan di kehidupan kita, nah itu seringkali yang 12 akusala ini muncul lebih dominan atau lebih sering di antara yang lainnya.
So, how can we classify the akusala consciousness into 3 groups? So, according to the roots, do you remember?
Ya, jadi bagaimana kita sudah mengklasifikasikan kesadaran tidak bajik ke dalam 3 jenis kelompok. Nah, kalian ingat?
Lobha, dosa, moha, right? According to the roots, lobha, 8 consciousness, lobha mula, dosa mula, 2 consciousness, and moha mula, 2 consciousness. Altogether, 12 consciousness are regarded unwholesome consciousness, akusala citta. The reason why they are regarded as unwholesome consciousness is so they have the nature of akusala. The nature of akusala is with the guilty is called the guilty. So with the faults, and also another is it can brings unpleasant result. So when lobha or dosa or moha arise, is guilty, and also as a result, it will bring unpleasant benefits.
Ya, jadi berdasarkan akar, ya kesadaran tidak bajik diklasifikasikan atau dikelompokkan menjadi 3 kelompok berdasarkan akar, yaitu akar dari loba, keserakahan, yaitu ada 8 jenis kesadaran yang berasosiasi dengan akar loba. Kemudian ada 2 jenis kesadaran yang berasosiasi dengan akar kebencian, dosa, dan juga ada 2 jenis kesadaran yang berasosiasi dengan akar moha. Jadi kesadaran kesadaran akusala kama hanya berdasarkan 3 jenis ini. Jadi totalnya ada 12 jenis kesadaran akusala. Nah, alasannya kenapa disebut akusala, karena mereka memiliki sifat alami akusala atau yang tidak bajik. Jadi biasanya dengan rasa bersalah atau dengan adanya kesalahan di mana akan memberikan hasil yang tidak menyenangkan. Nah, jadi kama ini ketika dilakukan akan membuat si pelaku menjadi memiliki rasa bersalah dan juga memiliki kesalahan dan juga memberikan hasil yang tidak menyenangkan.
So for the second part of the unwholesome nature, it can bring unpleasant result, unpleasant benefit. It means the unwholesome consciousness has the potency to produce results. It is called the unwholesome karma. So today we are going to study the unwholesome karma and also wholesome karma.
Ya, jadi kesadaran tidak bajik dapat memberikan hasil yang tidak menyenangkan. Nah, jadi kesadaran tidak bajik akan menghasilkan hasil yang tidak menyenangkan. Dan hari ini kita akan membahas mengenai tindakan atau perbuatan tidak bajik dan perbuatan yang bajik juga.
Here, the unwholesome causes of action. This in Pali they are called the akusala kammapata. And if we change wholesome causes of action, they are called kusala kammapata. So akusala karma or kusala karma, they are regarded as the pata. This pata is called the causes or the path. But path to go somewhere, the road to go somewhere, to woeful state or to blissful state. With the unwholesome karma, the beings are going to woeful states. That's why unwholesome karma are considered as the way to woeful state. And for the wholesome karma sends the beings to the blissful state. That's why wholesome karmas are the way to blissful state. So here, akusala kammapata and kusala kammapata we will study.
Ya, jadi perbuatan akusala yang kita sebut akusala kammapata dan juga perbuatan tidak bajik. Nah, sedangkan perbuatan bajik kita sebutnya kusala kammapata. Nah, jadi di sini kammapata yaitu perbuatan. Kusala yang bajik, akusala yang tidak bajik. Nah, di sini pata yaitu jalan atau seperti pijakan ya. Jadi yang membawa kita ke satu arah atau ke tempat tertentu. Nah, di sini ketika kita melakukan akusala kammapata, di mana akan membawa kita mengarah kepada alam penderita. Nah, sedangkan kusala kammapata yang akan mengarahkan kita kepada alam kebahagiaan. Nah, jadi ketika seseorang melakukan akusala, nah ini akan membawanya ke alam yang menderita. Nah, sedangkan yang bajik atau yang kusala yang akan membawanya ke tempat yang menyenangkan.
So when akusala consciousness, akusala citta or unwholesome consciousness arise in the mind, there the volition, which is called cetana, that also arise together. So that volition and unwholesome consciousness arising together, they inspire or encourage a person to commit their bodily action, bodily action, verbal action, and mental action. They are called the karma. So without unwholesome consciousness, unwholesome karma cannot be possible. Unwholesome karma arises based on unwholesome consciousness or together with unwholesome consciousness, we can see.
Ya, jadi ketika akusala atau yang tidak bajik muncul, nah di sini munculnya berdasarkan kesadaran yang tidak bajik, di mana di sana ada juga yang disebut cetana atau kehendak. Nah, jadi kehendak ini yang disebut kama. Nah, jadi tanpa adanya kesadaran yang tidak bajik, perbuatan tidak bajik tidak akan muncul. Nah, tetapi karena ada kesadaran yang tidak bajik muncul, nah di sini perbuatan yang tidak bajik juga akan muncul. Nah, di sini ada 3 jenis perbuatan berdasarkan perbuatan tubuh, kemudian ada ucapan, dan juga ada pikiran atau secara mental. Nah, jadi ketika dilakukan dengan kesadaran tidak bajik, nah di sini seseorang melakukan akusala kamapata. Nah, jadi perbuatan yang tidak bajik.
So karma, if we give the simple translation, it is called action, just action, bodily action, verbal action, or mental action. Is to be performed or considered as already performed in the past. That is called karma, just action. Yeah. And if we talk about the karma, the word dwara also have to understand. So dwara is the media through which karma is performed. So through which the karma is performed. That's why the body, the bubble, and mind are called the median of the karma, median of the action. This means that without body we cannot make the kaya karma. Without the speaking, we cannot perform the action of waji karma.
Ya, di sini istilah kama yaitu yang diterjemahkan sebagai perbuatan atau tindakan. Nah, di sini kama sesuatu tindakan yang telah dilakukan. Nah, ketika kita berbicara tentang kama, nah di sini kita juga harus mengerti mengenai istilah dwara atau pintu. Nah, di sini pintu yang dimaksud adalah medium di mana kama itu dilakukan. Nah, jadi melalui perbuatan tubuh atau ucapan atau pikiran seperti itu.
So some say the kaya dwara, waji dwara, or mano dwara. That is dwara. The original meaning is door. Door is to come into, through which to come into. That's why through the kaya, the karma come, and through the waji or the mouth, and the waji karma comes. So through the mind, the mental action comes. So 3 way or 3 dwara, 3 doors are considered as the media of the karma.
Ya, jadi pintu di mana ketika seseorang akan melewati pintu, seperti itu juga kama, mereka harus melalui pintu untuk dilakukan. Nah, jadi di sini ada 3 cara, atau 3 pintu. Nah, jadi melalui perbuatan tubuh, nah perbuatan kama yang dilakukan dengan tindakan, kemudian melalui ucapan, kemudian melalui pikiran.
So let's consider about the types of karma. According to their nature, we can classify akusala karma and kusala karma. And according to the media or doors, we can classify kaya karma, vaci karma, mano karma. So akusala karma also can be three types: akusala kaya karma, akusala vaci karma, akusala mano karma. In the same way, kusala karma also in the three types: kusala kaya karma, kusala vaci karma, kusala mano karma. Yeah.
Jadi karma itu ada dua jenis, kusala dan akusala. Nah, di sini melalui 3 pintu, di mana di setiap karma ini akan melalui 3 jenis pintu, yaitu kalau yang perbuatan tindakan yang akusala atau yang tidak bajik. Nah, di sini ada 3, begitu juga dengan yang bajik. Nah, jadi ada 3 pintu juga, melalui perbuatan, ucapan, dan juga pikiran.
Okay, so let's see about the kaya karma here. What is kaya dwara first? So consider the kaya karma. Kaya karma is the action that arises through the body door. That is, body door is kaya dwara. What is kaya dwara? It means the bodily intimation is called the kaya vinyati in Pali. A little bit complicated. So kaya vinyati means the something, the action, movement, or like this, let the other know our intention. It's a kind of materialities. So among the 28 materiality, one is called the kaya vinyati rupa. That makes our intention to let other know. So by the movement of our body, we can show our intention to others, and also we can perform according to our intention. That is called kaya dwara.
Ya, di sini perbuatan muncul melalui pintu tubuh atau yang kita sebut kaya kama. Nah, jadi atau melalui pintu tubuh, ya di sini kaya dwara. Nah, di mana perbuatan ini kita sebutnya sebagai kaya winyati atau intimasi tubuh. Nah, jadi di sini yang disebut kaya winyati adalah sesuatu aksi atau perbuatan atau pergerakan untuk membuat orang lain mengetahuinya. Nah, jadi kaya winyati ini juga salah satu jenis materi atau rupa, kaya winyati rupa. Nah, jadi untuk dengan kita melakukan gerakan atau satu gerakan terhadap tubuh kita dengan intensi untuk membuat orang lain mengetahui intensi yang kita lakukan ketika kita menggerakkan tubuh kita. Nah, di sini disebutnya kaya winyati.
So that kaya vinyati is mind produced materiality. So it is materiality produced by mind. So that cannot be happen in this way. That cannot be happen. Something does not have mind. It means only inside the living being we can find the kaya vinyati. So just now I said the movement or something, materiality of there. What materiality is called the kaya vinyati. But outside, when the wind comes, the leaves are moving around. Although they are movement of materiality, they are not called kaya vinyati because they are not produced by mind. Our movement of the body produced by mind. That is the concept of the kind of materiality. That is called the kaya vinyati. In the other way, it is called kaya dwara.
Jadi sesuatu yang muncul di dalam batin kita ketika kita contohnya ingin melakukan satu gerakan, nah di mana perbuatan ini yang memunculkan yang disebutnya kaya winyati. Nah, jadi dengan adanya intensi untuk bergerak atau melakukan satu perbuatan. Nah, di sini materi kaya winyati ini muncul.
So the action which is done through the bodily intimation, it is called kaya kamma. Actually, when kaya kamma is done during the times of kaya kamma is performed, the volition arises with the consciousness. If the action is akusala action, akusala kamma, that's akusala consciousness arise. The volition, cetana, also called the akusala cetana, and it become the akusala kamma.
Nah, ketika aksi dilakukan melalui tindakan tubuh atau yang kita sebut kaya kama, nah, jadi ketika kita melakukan perbuatan tersebut, muncul pada saat itu, sebelum itu juga muncul yang disebut kesadaran yang tidak bajik, akusala cita. Nah, kemudian di sana ada juga yang disebut kehendak yang akusala cetana. Nah, jadi karena perbuatan yang tidak bajik, yang didasari oleh kesadaran yang tidak bajik, di mana cetananya pun juga tidak bajik. Nah, ini yang disebut akusala kaya kama.
Okay, so this is called akusala kaya kamma, and so if wholesome consciousness arise, it is considered as wholesome kamma. This is not difficult. And for the bubble action, so through the vajidvara it arises. Then vajidvara, what is mean is the he should be vajivinyati. Yeah, vajivinyati or bubble intimation. So here also the translation bubble intimation vajivinyati. This also same, the types of materialities produced by mind. So without the mind, the kaya vinyati and vaci vinyati cannot arise.
Nah, kemudian untuk yang kusala kaya kama, nah kalian juga bisa memahaminya dengan cara yang sama. Nah, kita akan melanjutkan ke yang wacikama. Nah, di sini ucapan melalui pintu ucapan dilakukan menghasilkan di sini bukan kaya winyati seperti yang kalian lihat di slide di depan, tetapi di sini bisa kalian ganti menjadi waci winyati atau intimasi ucapan.
Okay, so through the vaci vinyati means the movement of our mouth like this to talks, to express through the talking. That is called vaci vinyati. That also a kind of materiality produced by mind. And the action which is done by the movement of our mouth is called the vajikama. Especially the mental factors of volition which arise the consciousness, that is considered as the vajikama, especially because it has the potency to produce the results. Okay. Okay, please wait. Okay, so we will continue only English. It will be much faster. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. I will explain in English. And so now we have already explained about the bodily action and barbell action. Both of them are emphasized as the volition or mental fetters of volition, cetana, cetasika, that arise with the consciousness. So the way we identify kaya karma or vajikama, that is through the different medias. Then some volition without making any movement of the body, without speaking. So just express, just arise only in the mind. It is called the manokama because it does not use any media of kaya vinyati or vachi vinyati, kaya karma or vachi karma. That's why the volition, mental action of volition, mental fetters of volition that arise the consciousness only is called the manokama. So now we get the kaya karma, vachikama, manokama first. Then we will continue how to classify the unwholesome causes of action. Here are unwholesome causes of action, akusala karma bata. So by the name, they are according to the commitment, they are called the Paññadhikālaṅkāra, killing, adinadana, stealing, kamisumicachara, sexual misconducts. They are committed through the door of the body. That's why they are called the kaya karma. Kaya karma. So akusala kaya karma are 3. And akusala vachikama, so by the barbell action, 4 karma are 4 wrong karma are done. So musawara, false speech, speaking false speech, or pisuna vacha, slanderous speech, and frusa vacha, harsh speech, and sampapalapa vacha, frivolous talk, or not meaningful talking. That's called it. These all 4 actions are done through the barbell action. That's why they are called the vajikama. And so barbell movement. Okay, so we already have the 7 akusala karma. 3 are done through the bodily media, so bodily action, and 4 are barbell action. And the other 3, Abhidhamma, which is called covetousness, is strong lobha. So strong level of lobha is called the Abhidhamma. And Yabada, evil, is also strong level of the dosa. And another one is Michaditi, round view. These 3 are no need to use any bodily intimation, bodily movement, or barbell movement. So only in the mind. That's why they are called the manokama. So then unwholesome causes of action or akusala karma bata are divided into 3 according to their medias, the kaya karma, vachikama, and manokama. So while they are classified as the cause of karma, they can produce the result. They can be the path to go to woeful state because this is unwholesome karma. They can go through them. They can the beings can go to a woeful state. So it means that if someone perform the Paññadhikālaṅkāra, due to the Paññadhikālaṅkāra action, the action and as the Paññadhikālaṅkāra, that person will be reborn in the woeful state. That's why this action of killing is considered as the akusala karma bata. In the same way, all the 10 actions, when it is done in full courses, so about the full course we will talk about. We will talk in next slide. So if the actions are done in full course, they can be the path to awful state. So we have to be careful about that. Then, okay, here, all 10 unwholesome karma, unwholesome causes, here, first 7 causes. Identify with the volition with the initiating effort, accomplish respected action. So here, Paññadhikālaṅkāra, killing, trying to make effort to kill. Not only thinking about to kill someone, it's make effort. So these are considered as bodily action because they mostly arise in the body door. So with the bodily movement, sometimes some commit the killing through the verbal movement, also possible. But most of the case, the killing is performed through the body door. That's why killing, stealing are also considered as the bodily action. But sometimes they can arise through the verbal action too, but only a few cases. And here, in this case, we have to talk about the effort. So effort and volition, they come together. The volition is called the karma to commit any of these 7. So musawada also to talk, make effort to make a voice for the giving of the false news. Then they are called the unwholesome karma. Whether they complete or not, the action is complete or not. Sometimes one trying to kill, but because lack of effort or the other condition cannot kill. It means the killing action is not done, not accomplished, but still make effort and unwholesome karma. But not full course. Yeah, not full course. If accomplished, it means the commitment of the killing, the victim died due to his effort. So that become accomplished action, which is called the full course of action. What is the difference? The action which is not full course, which is the action which is full course. The difference is the full course action can be the cause to reborn in the awful state. So unsuccessful action, it cannot be the cause to be born in the awful state. So someone trying to kill the victim did not die or his effort. It means the action is not done in accomplishment. So that action is called the not full course, only partially done. So with the sometimes one trying to steal, from the beginning, he think to steal is starting from that is unwholesome, akusala karma. But only when the other's property is made for his own, at that time the action is done, action is accomplished. So the accomplished action can be the cause to be born in the awful state, niraya, beta, dirichana, or the asura kaya. But if it is not successful, that karma cannot send to reborn in the awful state, but still can produce a whole unpleasant result during the course of existence, during the life. So the volition arises with the unwholesome consciousness is called unwholesome karma, whether it's accomplished or not. Still unwholesome karma. The some karma can be accomplished, and they are called the full courses of action. So for these 7 types, if they commit, sometimes successful, sometimes not successful. If successful, it is full course of action, and they can be the cause to be reborn in the awful state. If they are not successful, they can be the cause to produce the unpleasant result in the life. Okay, so the others here, Abhidhamma, Vyavada, Micchadeti, they does not have the full course on that. If the lobha becomes strong to the level of Abhidhamma, it is already full course. If dosa become evil in the level of Vyavada, is called the full courses, or Micchadeti, the same. So they, with the full course of action, they are considered as astikama, kusala karma, with the potency to give the new birth generation in the Moha state. Okay, so this is how we can classify the unwholesome karma, full course of, not full course of karma. And in another slide, in this slide, I will explain about the cause of the action. So the main causes, when unwholesome karma, unwholesome consciousness arise, by that, the being commit the unwholesome karma. There, we can identify for the killing or speaking harsh speech or evil, for 3 types of action. This number are the number given in the former slide. And these 3 karma of killing and speaking harsh speech and evil are done due to the root of hatred. So hatred is main causes there. Causes. Very strong cause is hatred. So one commit the killing due to hatred, not because of greed. Sometimes the robber, they kill. The people think the robber killed the being because he went to get the property. So the robber caused him to commit, the people think, killing. Actually, he started to rob. The action of robbery started through their greed. But the killing action is done because of hatred. So we have to understand the killing is committed by the root of hatred. And also, if someone speak harsh speech through the argument about the property, also all harsh speech are done. The action of harsh speech are done by the root of hatred, not because of the greed. And evil also, evil is strong hatred. It's called evil. Then another group produced by the greed. So the kamesumicchachara, sexual misconduct, also caused by the greed and covetousness. It is the higher level of greed and wrong view. So one hold the wrong view because of greed, the attachment. And also another 4 action of the stealing. So here stealing can be both sides, the greed and hatred. Sometimes greed causing the attachment to become attachment to the other's property. It causes to steal. And sometimes not attachment, but to destroy the other's situation. So the stealing is done, can be any of, either of greed or sometimes either of, sometimes because of hatred. But greed and hatred cannot arise at the same time. When greed arises, hatred does not arise. And also sometimes musawada is done, sometimes due to their greed, want something. Sometimes due to hatred, to keep the wrong information for the trouble, making trouble to others. And also slanderance. Also, when someone give the pisuna vacha, speak the pisuna vacha, slanderous speech, with the purpose to make himself to be loved one. So at that time, greed is the root, and sometimes just to break up, to make the problem, that is hatred. And frivolous talk also produced by any of the greed or hatred. So it means without akusala root, they cannot arise. That's why all the 10 are considered as the akusala karma. And here does not mention about the delusion, moha. So in the Abhidhamma Sangha, 3 produced by the hatred, the other 3 produced by the greed, and the other 4 produced by the greed or hatred, any of the roots. The delusion, moha, is not mentioned because it is common base for all unwholesome karma. So it is common, no need to explain. Every unwholesome karma is done by the support of the delusion, moha. So by the moha, when moha give the wrong information and then one attach. So due to the greed, commit, or sometimes get angry due to the hatred, they committed. So the unwholesome karma are done based upon the 3 roots of unwholesome root, lobha, dosa, moha. So why during the times of committing 10 unwholesome karma, what types of consciousness arise in the process? So being is called the mental process and material process. So sometimes killing, stealing, etc. committed through the body. That's why the bodily process also there arise. But only the bodily process is not considered as the wholesome or unwholesome. Because of the mental process, we can identify this is wholesome or unwholesome. That's why during the time, a person commit any of the 10 unwholesome course of action. Then at that time, in the mental process, the unwholesome consciousness, 12 unwholesome consciousness arise. When it is rooted in the hatred, here, killing is done by the hatred. So at that time, we can identify any of one of the hatred-rooted consciousness. They are called the dosa mula. Consciousness arise by when one commit the action of killing. So when someone speak harsh speech, because it is committed based upon the root of hatred, so one of the dosa mula consciousness arise in the process. And evil, so it is sure to say that dosa mula. And okay, so another time, when someone commit the sexual misconduct, because the root is greed, at that time we can understand any of 8 lobha mula consciousness arise in during the commitment of the action of the kamesu miccācara or Awicha miccāditthi. Then, so sometimes here adhinadana committed by greed. So 8 lobha mula, one of the 8 lobha mula arise at the moment of stealing. Sometimes the person steal because he want to destroy the other situation, good condition. So it is done by the hatred, root of hatred. So one of the hatred rooted consciousness, the dosa mula consciousness arise. And so here, only moha mula cannot arise. Only moha mula arise, uddhacca or vicikicca. So they cannot commit any of the unwholesome courses of action. So when moha mula, moha, the root of moha come with the hatred or greed, at that time one can commit any of the 10 unwholesome courses of action. Then that can be the path, the way, the road, the way to go to woeful states. So this is how we can connect the 10 unwholesome causes and 12 unwholesome consciousness. So unwholesome causes of action are named according to their way of identification. So killing or stealing or like this. And the consciousness really arises in the process. This is the ultimate reality, the process of ultimate reality arising in the mental process. So after learning unwholesome consciousness, Loba Mula 8, Dosa Mula 2, Moha Mula 2, we have to understand how they appear in our daily life. So if we commit the killing, okay, this is Dosa Mula consciousness arise. So if we argue each other and then speak, harsh speak, so you can identify, oh, Dosa Mula arising in my mind. And evil, Vyabhada means consider this, the consciousness arise with the higher level of hatred to disrupt others' situation. Other feeling happy, want to destroy that situation. That's Vyabhada. Getting angry. So in the same way, Kamisumicha Chara or Loba Mula arising in my mind like this. And Adhinadhana, sometimes Dosa Mula or sometimes Loba Mula in this way. So they appear, the process of mentality, a wholesome process of mentality arise in our mind, and then the action are done. So this is how we have to connect wholesome. Here, let's consider about the Viramani. So here Viramani, so abstinence. You abstain, so not killing. I cannot kill. At that time, what happened? So the classification the same. If one avoids from the commitment of the 3 bodily action, this also considered as the bodily action, but it is kusala karma pata, wholesome karma, wholesome courses of action. So we didn't study in the Abhidhamma study, and that is called the wholesome karma. It's called kusala karma. Kusala karma, there are 8 consciousness, 8 wholesome consciousness to identify for these avoidance or these viramanics. But in the way of classification in the dwara, so avoiding from 3 action, 3 bodily wrongdoing, they are called the 3 kusala bodily action, kusala kaya karma. If someone avoid from 4 wrongdoings, they are called the kusala vachikama. And so prohibiting or the prevention from the arising of the manokama, akusala manokama, so anabhijja, abhyabhada is the opposite of the abhijja and vyabhada, and right view, so the opposite of micchaditthi, so right view. They are arising only in the mental process, so they are called mental action. As akusala karma are divided into 3, kaya karma, vachikama, and manokama. So the avoiding or making viramani of 3 types also considered as a wholesome kusala karma. Then, so what happened? Not only avoiding, they are called varita sila, the avoidance of from the 10 unwholesome karma are called the varita sila, the varita. But the other case, so here sila is only one part. So we already talked about the 10 bases of meritorious deed or punya kriya vatu. There, if one perform the others, dana, bhavana, apachayana, etc., they are called charita sila. And also the performance of the wholesome deeds, meritorious deed. At that moment, the wholesome consciousness arises. So according to this classification, the wholesome action of the meritorious deeds, dana, sila, bhavana, and apachayana, reverence, vyavacha, service, patidana, sharing marriage, patanumorana, rejoicing, making sadhu sadhu, and dhamma desana, dhamma savana, hearing or listening dhamma. And now you are listening about my explanation about dhamma. So that is called the dhamma savana. At that moment, if you are carefully listening about the explanation of dhamma, the wholesome consciousness arises in your mind. This is called the dhamma savana kusala. And so for me, and I'm giving the Dhamma talk, and so teaching the Dhamma, and that is called the Dhamma Desana. It is also a kind of wholesome karma. And Ditthhijukkarma is straightening one's view. So to keep understanding with the understanding, the true understanding is called the Ditthhijukkarma. So here, basically, they are divided Dana, Sila, Bhavana, and then we also can include the Apajayana and Awicha in the action of Bajik, which is called Sila. And the other two, Patidhana and Patanumodana, are included under the Dana. And the other three are meditation, Bhavana. So this is not difficult. If you just see, and then you can understand. Okay, so let's see. About the causes. So in the unwholesome cases, we already explained how they arise and what are their causes. In the wholesome karma, here, so 8 wholesome consciousness. In the Abhidhamma, we didn't explain, and just introduction comes. And so in next lesson, we will continue about the wholesome consciousness. There are 8 sense-pure wholesome consciousness. Sense-pure consciousness, we can divide it into Jnana Samyutta and Jnana Vipyutta. So Jnana Samyutta is associated with knowledge. Jnana Vipyutta dissociated with knowledge. So without knowledge. So here, non-greed, non-hatred, and non-delusion and knowledge. Jnana, same. So here for second one, Jnana Vipyutta, the non-delusion is absent, only 2. So by 3 roots, the consciousness arise, Jnana Samyutta, that also can be the cause to perform any of the meritorious deeds. And non-greed and non-hatred as a root, and the consciousness arise, Jnana Vipyutta, also they can be the cause to give rise there in any of the 10 causes of action. So here, meritorious deed and also the avoidance of the 10 round action. 10 round action. So they are called, both of these 2 groups are called the process of wholesome karma. Process of wholesome karma. When you are making dana, at that time, if you have the knowledge of the non-delusion rule at that time, so you are making the Tihetuka karma. Without the absence of the non-delusion rule, you are making the Trihetuka karma, like this. So if you are observing the moral precept, avoiding killing, etc., also for the mental process, wholesome, one of the wholesome consciousness arising in your mind. And meditation, giving reverence or service, etc. And while you are performing any of these actions, you can understand, in my mind, the wholesome consciousness is arising. So this is how unwholesome and wholesome arise in the process, and how they are identified as a karma. So yeah, let me introduce about the types of the consciousness. Those can be the karma. So for the unwholesome case, only 12. 12 unwholesome consciousness can be karma. And yeah, 8 wholesome consciousness. So altogether, 20 unwholesome or wholesome consciousness can be karma. Yeah, but although the consciousness are counted, actually the important point is the mental factors of volition, which is called cetana, that arise together with the 20 types of consciousness. That is called karma. So we can say that 20 sense-pure karma. Due to the 20 sense-pure karma, the being will be born in the sense-pure realm of existence, 11 sense-pure realm. Don't forget it. And also during the course of existence, they suffer due to the karma. And also they get the pleasant feeling, pleasant situation, happy, there due to the karma. So here, 12 unwholesome consciousness now, The volition with the 12-fold unwholesome consciousness, we can say that 12 karma. But in the expression of the action, they are called the 10 unwholesome causes of action. And for the 8 wholesome sense-pure consciousness, 10 base of meritorious deed, and the avoid, including the avoidance of the avoids from the 10 unwholesome causes of action. Okay, so let's see how they produce. At the moment of Pradisandhi, Pradisandhi is rebirth linking, translated as rebirth linking, and the first moment, very first moment is called Pradisandhi. So if the karma produce the very first moment, it means that karma create a life. So the first moment of, if the karma produce the first moment of niraya, so in the hell, being in the hell, it means it gives rise to be born in the hell. If the karma produce the first moment of the human life in the mother's form, this means it creates the human life. So the first moment, Pradisandhi, is considered as the moment of the life, the first moment of the life producing. So during the life or course of existence, during the lifetime, many wholesome and unwholesome karma, according to their respective condition, they come into give their respective results. So although the human beings born due to the wholesome karma as a human being, but during the lifetime, unwholesome karma have the opportunity, and then the person encounter the unpleasant situation. And sometimes when the wholesome karma have the opportunity, he encounter the wholesome, the happiness, the happy situation. So we can classify the 2 types of resultant. So Pradisandhi Vipaka, resultant of rebirth linking and rebirth linking. And Bhagavati Vipaka, resultant in or during the lifetimes. So the full causes of action, we already talked about that. If something is done and accomplished, this is called the full cause. That full cause of action can produce being the karma, it can produce the rebirth generation. So Pradisandhi Vipaka. There are all types of karma can produce the bodhi vipaka. So here in this case, we have to make sure that only full course of action can produce the Pradisandhi Vipaka. All action can produce bodhi vipaka. Okay, so here to make sure the karma about that, here the Buddhas state that Chetanaham Bhikkhave Kammam Vadami. Chetana, the manifestors of volition. The Buddha say, I call that karma. Chiti dwa kammang karoti kayina vajaya manasa. So kayina by body, vajaya by speech, manasa by mind. So 3 actions done based upon the volition, manifestor of volition is regarded as the karma. That's why if we refer to what is the karma, we always refer to the manifestors of volition, chetana. So at that volition, so sometimes perform the unwholesome consciousness. With the unwholesome consciousness perform is called the unwholesome causes of action, and sometimes perform with the wholesome consciousness. At that time, they are called the meritorious deed, wholesome cause of action. And both of them have the potency to produce, if full cause, the Pradisandhi Vipaka, if it is not full cause, or also bodhi vipaka. And to understand more, let's see how they arise. We already explained the consciousness and manifesta arise together. So when they arise together, there, in every moment of consciousness, the volition accompany. That volition is called karma. If this consciousness is called the greed-rooted consciousness, and by that one commit stealing. This is called the akusala karma. The volition is called akusala karma. The consciousness is hatred-rooted consciousness, dosa mula consciousness. But then if one commit the killing action, then it is called, the volition is called the unwholesome karma. So in this way, here, although the others mental factor arise with the unwholesome consciousness, they are not considered as the karma. But the only volition, because it has the potency to produce the life. That's why all the power of wholesome or unwholesome go into the volition. And the volition gives the potency transfer to the mental process. The mental process maintains the karmic potency to produce the life and good and bad condition in the life. This is how the karma. Also in the same way, if we perform the wholesome consciousness, perform the wholesome deed, at that time, the wholesome consciousness arises in our mental process. That time, also here, wholesome consciousness with the other mental factors, the faith, saddha, or moral shame, hiri, ottappa, etc. These are 25 beautiful mental factors. So we didn't talk about that, just introduce here. How they arise? Here, 19. And they are with the others, altogether 25 mental factors. But when any specific consciousness arises and the other specific mental factor will follow, accompany. Among them, the volition never absent. The volition arises. At the moment of the wholesome consciousness arise, and we make donation, then the volition store the potency to produce the life in the blissful state. So starting from the human earth. So that is called the wholesome karma. So now we see the unwholesome side also, volition. Wholesome side also, volition arise, and they are called the wholesome karma and unwholesome karma. Okay. So, okay, I think it is time to stop here, explanation, and we can discuss, we can continue in the discussion. Okay.
Pandami Sayadaw, I would like to ask about the Moha. That's regarding to your explanation that Moha is common base. The slide mentioned that Moha is the common base.
Yeah.
Moha always arise in the upper form of loba and dosa.
Yeah.
So I see the Moha is the most dominant factor in every action, especially in human realm. So if my amoha is dominant as a human, my amoha is dominant. So it's gonna be a potency for me to to get easier to, to achieve some level of enlightenment, maybe some like that, Sayadaw. Thank you.
Yeah, for Moha, it cannot be the cause of enlightenment. It can the cause to commit the unwholesome, any of unwholesome action. So, but it cause to give rise to others. It does not mean that it mean that along with the Moha, the Loba arise, and with the Loba and Moha they commit. But here, as I say, is that Moha is not mentioned as a cause because it is common, always accompany or always arise in the unwholesome consciousness. Whenever unwholesome consciousness, Moha never absent, always arise.
Yeah. So I assume Moha is the most dominant in every action. No.
No, not really that. Only Moha is dominant, but the Loba or Dosa has the strong position, because by the absence of Loba or by the absence of Dosa, one cannot commit any of the 10 unwholesome causes. So by the how to say, the presence or by the power of the greed or by the power of the hatred, one can commit the unwholesome karma.
Because as I know I forgot in Patika Samuvada or Samyojana, Awicha is number one, get the number one position.
Yeah.
So I think if we can minimize Moha and optimize Amoha, we are supposed to be a very good person.
Of course, yeah, the Awicha is the cause, but the nature of Awicha or Moha itself is just to cover the true nature of the things and show the other way. This is the function, what the Moha can do. The covering cannot commit any unwholesome karma. Not only covering the truth, cover the truth after the give the force to commit Loba or Dosa. At that time, one commit. Not knowing only cannot commit. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Sayadaw.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So if you have any question, and you can ask, or if you don't have any question, we are going to stop here. Yeah. So here the question is, what is the difference between Moha and Awicha? Actually, no difference. So when we talk about the roots, it is used the Moha. The one Moha is used. Also referring to the same reality of the same reality with the Awicha. So Awicha, when we talk about, usually it is used as the sutta usage in the sutta teaching. Awicha is used. So it also, when we use Awicha, also referring to the Moha, so the same. Also level also not different, they're the same. Okay.
Sadhu. Sayadaw, there is no more question. Sahabat Dhamma, demikianlah akhir dari sesi tanya jawab. Terima kasih atas partisipasinya. Selanjutnya, mari kita limpahkan jasa kebajikan yang telah kita lakukan dengan pelimpahan jasa yang akan dibimbing oleh Sayadaw Paññadhikālaṅkāra. Mari kita semua bersikap anjali. Sayadaw. We would like Sayadaw to please guide us for the sharing merit.
Okay, let's make aspiration and let's share our merit to all beings. Please repeat after me. Imina punya kamina mami bala samagamo sedang samagamo hodu yawa nibbana padiya idami punyam asawakaya wahang hodu idami punyam nibbanasa pacayo hodu mama punya bagam sabasadanam pajimi desabi mesamam punya bagam labandu sadhu sadhu sadhu.
Thank you for the Abhidhamma class, Sayadaw Anumodami. Terima kasih Sayadaw atas kelas Abhidhamma hari ini. Anumodami, semoga kebajikan yang kami lakukan dengan menjaga sila, mendengarkan Dhamma, dan pelimpahan jasa menjadi kondisi pendukung yang kuat untuk mencapai Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sahabat Dhamma, terima kasih sudah bergabung di kelas Abhidhamma hari ini. Sampai bertemu di kelas Abhidhamma berikutnya. Sukihontu, Namo Buddhaya.